Narcissistic Parentification. This one is really, really odd, and it's surprising. It's not what it may seem on just the surface. Now, when it comes to narcissistic personality disorder, I'm not a big fan of Freud. I study more Erich Fromm, for example, when it comes to malignant narcissism. But Freud had this one right. Freud relates this to ego ideal. Now let me explain, give you an example, and we'll talk about this for a moment. In a lot of families where there's multiple siblings, the parent gives one of the siblings, more notably the oldest, some chores to do, to take care of his or her siblings. It's a normal way of life. It's okay if it's done moderately, if it's done healthy. But for the narcissist, it's entirely different. There's a very specific reason. Now, my brother was born when I was 10 years old. And that very first week when he was born, I was immediately shown how to change his diapers. And back then we had cloth diapers and baby pins, where the diapers had to be washed. I was shown how to take care of his genitalia area, his behind. I was shown how to put specific ointments on his belly button, where the umbilical cord was cut. I took care of my brother as a 10-year-old almost every hour of every day. Sterilizing his bottles, we used to back then have to sterilize them, mixing his formula, and feeding him. Taking care and spending hours with him, watching him, reading books, and playing appropriate age games. And I'll tell you what, I didn't mind. I loved having a little brother. But I did everything. Literally everything, both on the physical and the emotional level. I was his parent at that early age. Now, a lot of people will think that that is the parent perhaps being lazy. That's not it when it comes to narcissistic personality disorder. What this is twofold. First, always remember this, that the narcissistic parent or the narcissist, could be a spouse or a sibling, is void of feelings. They simply cannot feel. They cannot express love because they are empty. They literally do not have the love inside of them. But parentification goes much deeper than that, Freud explains. Ego ideal is where the narcissist uses the sibling, in most cases the oldest sibling, to be able to see themselves. They use that older sibling as an extension of themselves, to be able to somehow view themselves, what they are void of, what they cannot give. Now this is pretty deep. So the narcissist knows that they are incapable of giving love or taking care of their own child or expressing any type of any feeling towards that child. So what they do is deputize one of the other siblings to do all of that for them. So they could sit back and view what they wish they could be, what they wish that they themselves could do, what they wish that they could feel, and they cannot. This also suggests to outsiders that the youngest child or the youngest children are being well taken care of. Never to mention the fact that the sibling is doing all the work. Here's one more quick example. When my brother turned 15 years old, I was just getting ready to turn 26. He had to come live with me and my then wife for over 5 years. I did everything, and I'm not saying this to boast. I'm just trying to give you an example. I did everything. We did everything. My then wife and I did everything in raising him as a child. Because remember, as the child matures and turns into 12, 13, 14 years old, the narcissistic parent cannot stand the child developing their own personality, their own sense of self-worth, their own feelings. The narcissist can't do that. I've done a video on that. The narcissistic parent as you mature. So my brother lived with us as if he was our own child. And we gave him the emotional support, the financial support. We never received one dime. Don't care. Never asked for it. We did the things a parent that unconditionally loves a child would do. Involvement in his high school. Involvement in his activities out of school. Driving lessons. First car. Insurance. Ensuring he knew the meaning of work. And we didn't do it because we were incapable and needed something for us to feel good about ourselves. So again, it may seem on the outside that the parent is being lazy, when the fact is the parent is completely unable from within themselves to truly show love, to truly feel love. And if I may, in my experience, I think the parent wants nothing to do with the child. It's more about that parent wanting to see the sibling that they put in charge as an extension of themselves, of what they cannot be. And thus, in their own twisted ways, allows them to feel good about themselves. It shows others on the outside that that younger child is being taken care of, and they'll take the credit for it. This is very common in narcissistic parents. If you've had this experience, please share it with us, because I believe that there are so many of us who have had the very same experience. Thank you. And as always, I sincerely wish you peace today.